Okay, in this lesson we're going to take a look at some alternate picking exercises, stuff that's pretty much helped me develop my picking technique that I think will benefit you as well. So basically what I'm going to do is just play through one exercise that I think will be really helpful, and then after I've played it I'm going to break down what's actually going on. So here's the exercise. Okay, so starting off, we've got alternate picking, starting with a downstroke with the right hand. This is basically what we're going to be practicing, but we're string skipping as well to try and make it a little bit more awkward, so you can, really work on your alternate picking. So yeah, we've got this pattern, which is 15, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12 on the high E string. Then you've got 16, 14, 12, 14, 16 on the G. Then 12, 14, 15, 14, 12 on the high E string. Okay, so this is going to be your pattern for every shape that we're going to be playing through. Okay, so you can choose to use whatever fingers you want. I mean, for me personally, my first three fingers are just more, they've got more strength in them than trying to use the little finger, which is probably why a lot of people say, oh, never uses his little finger. But I mean, I do for like extended passages and stuff like that, but for things like this I just find they're stronger fingers, so it doesn't really affect what's going on. So as long as it's clean and it's in time and it's as precise as you can get it, then that's probably the most important thing, I would say. Okay, so moving on, the next position is going to be this. Okay, so you're going to be playing 14, 10, 12, 14, 12, 10 on the B string. So, still keeping up the picking on the right hand. Then after that, you're going to play 14, 12, 11, 12, 14 on the D. Then 10, 12, 14, 12, 10 on the B to finish that part of the lick. So you've got this. Okay, so when you put it in conjunction with the first part, you should have something that sounds like this. And then on the high E string, we're going to be doing exactly the same shape as what we just did from the B string, and it looks like this. Okay, so we've got 14, 10, 12, and then 14, 12, 10. So the same pattern features in every shape, so it's exactly the same thing. So you're just repeating what you did before. Okay, and then, I mean, what's convenient about this is we're playing the same two positions, but 4 times, using different arpeggio shapes. So now we're going back to the B string and playing this, which is the very same thing as the first position that we looked at. Well, same frets, but just using different strings, so moving everything up a string or down a string, whichever way you want to look at it. So, okay, but we're basically just doing like a sort of crisscross version of that. So, that's what we're doing. Then we're going to take a look at this shape, which is this. Okay, that's going to be 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9 on the high E string. Then you've got 12, 11, 9, 11, 12 on the G string. So then back up to the high E string and play 9, 10, 12, 10, 9. Okay, so that whole lick. Then we're going to be moving down to this shape, which looks like this. Okay, so that's 11 on the B string, 7 on the B, then we've got 9, 11, 9, 7, all on the B string. So the same as this pattern, and this pattern. We're just playing it here. Okay, so exactly the same thing again. Then moving on to the next position, we've got this, which is the same as the first position and the fourth position that we looked at. So the same as this and this, but we're just doing it here. In fact, it's actually the same arpeggio as this, just played in the same arpeggio or same phrase or whatever, but it's in a different position. So that's actually quite a cool thing to realise, that, you know, on the guitar there are multiple ways of being able to play the same thing because of how it's tuned and all the rest of it. So that's it's a slightly different tonality. It's a little bit thinner because you're on the higher strings. Okay, so you can probably hear that second time is slightly fuller sounding, but you know, it adds to the dynamic of the lick anyway. Okay, so moving on, after playing this shape, we've got this. Okay, so that's 12, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8. Then moving that up 2 frets, back to a position that we've already seen. But we're only going to go back, well, we're only going to descend as far as the 11th fret on the G string before finishing the lick. So, and you can just end with a very rock and roll bend on the 15th fret of the B string, bend it up a whole step and then add a load of vibrato. Okay, so the whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, so just bear in mind that, you know, you can play it at that speed, and as long as you keep it nice and clean and precise and accurate, it should really develop your alternate picking pretty quickly, just practicing stuff like this. So yeah, as I said, practice this slow and then just gradually try and speed it up and get to some sort of goal BPM. Maybe set a metronome to a decent speed and then see if you can get it up to speed, but just make sure it's nice and clean with no horrible noises or anything like that. And maybe try and play it with less and less gain, because the more you can really connect with the notes with less gain, the tighter it's going to be, the more you add the gain, just to ease up on the playability. So try and bear that in mind when you're practicing some of this stuff.